Yeah, g'day folks. Today I'm going to plant some citrus between the pomegranates. The pomegranates were going to be a hedge, they still are, but I have some miniature citrus that I bought the other day on special. So being a miniature type of citrus tree, I thought what a perfect opportunity to put a few more fruit trees into the garden, and I thought what a better way than dividing up these pomegranates with citrus. The reason for that is that the pomegranates will lose their leaves in winter, and the citrus is evergreen and will bear fruit in winter. So we will get some produce not only in summer but also in winter. So what I decided on doing is planting a different variety of citrus, so lemon, mandarin and orange, and I'll alternate them to basically give it some character once they grow and bear fruit. So the holes I've already dug out, they're in front of the pillars here, so that will give them a little bit of warmth during the winter months, and of course a bit of protection from the wind as well. It's facing west, that direction, and north is that direction over there, so they will get a lot of sun, and hopefully grow into lovely little citrus trees with abundant of fruit. Yeah, I bought some great garden soil that's got some compost, mushroom compost, and some manure within it, so it's quite loamy and not too much clay in it, which is great. I'll probably mix this up with the soil that I've dug out of the ground, so it's a bit of a mixture, and see how it goes. So here are the 7 types of citrus I'm going to be planting. So you can see it's Eureka, Caracara, Lisbon lemon, Eureka lemon, Imperial mandarin, and a Washington navel. There's one more over here and another mandarin, just to make it up to 7. Look, I believe that autumn is the best time to plant citrus. The ground's still warm. They've got a bit of time to establish themselves before the cold weather arrives, and hopefully by spring and summer they would be well established. So that's what it looks like at the moment. I'm going to just pre-fill the holes with some water, and then bring the trailer of loam, garden loam, and start planting. As you can see, the water is in the hole. It's slowly dissipating and draining. I'm just going to see how long it takes. So the counter is on at the moment to see how long it takes to drain out, and then I'll get ready for planting. One of the things that's really important to do is rough up the edges around the hole, just so they're not smooth like a planter pot, just to give the roots somewhere to grow and grow outwards rather than around in circles. I've also dug these holes in a square formation rather than circle, and that allows the roots to go into the corners and continue growing outwards rather than around in circles to root bound them. As you can see with this hole here, the water's gone, it's drained, which means that the soil around here is actually very, very good. Okay, I've put the citrus alongside the holes, trying to find out what is the perfect formation. So I've gone with orange, then lemon, mandarin, put a lemon in the middle here, and then back to orange, lemon, which is Eureka, and then mandarin. So I think that's the way I'll go. So Imperial mandarin in this one, unless I change my mind. Eureka lemon into this hole. A Caracara blood orange into this one. A Lisbon lemon into this hole. An Imperial mandarin into this one. A Eureka lemon to this one. And back to orange to this one. Okay, what I'm going to do is carefully tap it out of its pot, place it into the hole and push down the stake just to hold it in place while I backfill it with some soil. As you can see, I teased out the bottom roots. It's in the hole now. The stake's been pushed in so it won't move, and I'll just backfill it with some soil and then water it in. Okay, all the citrus trees have been planted and watered in thoroughly. I might water them again tonight, but it's 1:30 on a Saturday and the sun's directly above and they look quite okay. So Dwarf orange, Washington navel, we got a Eureka lemon, a Dwarf mandarin, Imperial, Lisbon lemon, a Caracara orange, another Eureka lemon, and another Imperial mandarin. So this is what it looks like, and hopefully they'll survive. They only grow, the card says around 1 metre by 2 metres high, so they should fill that space in quite nicely. Okay. Rightio then, I've also planted 3 more mandarins in the front of the house between the olive trees. This one is an Emperor mandarin. Then of course the olive tree to an Imperial, olive tree, Emperor, and then olive tree again. So that is what it looks like now. I'm not too sure if I'm happy with it, but for now it'll do, and see how it turns out. Okay, just to finish off, I just wanted to show you how big these olives are. I believe this is a jumbo Kalamata, and you can sort of see how big they are. Not a lot this year on this tree, it's still a baby, but it's promising. I'll put my hand behind here, you can sort of see how big that is. There you go. That's a nice big variety, and I always knew this was a different type because the leaves have always been a silvery green rather than a dark green like the rest of the ones I've got. So here goes another one. Now look how big that one is. They're all the same. There's more here. Here's my hand. Another one here. So if I put my hand there, you can sort of see how big they are. So I'm pretty happy about this tree, even though the canary date palm is right there. I'm just going to make sure that its leaves don't damage the olive tree. So it is getting taller and taller, so I'm guessing that these bottom leaves or branches, prongs, might be a problem in the future. So around the back I've planted another 20 or so dwarf citrus trees, so one between the pear tree is a Lisbon, then a Washington navel orange, And as we go around here to the circled area, there's another dwarf mandarin between the apricots, a dwarf Washington navel, and over here a little hedge of mandarins. So an emperor, imperial, I think it is emperor imperial, or the other way around. Then over here I've got a cluster of dwarf oranges that would make up one tree when they grow, and there's 3 varieties here, a blood orange and 2 navel Washingtons as well. What else? Let me have a look. Done a lot of planting this week, probably about 20 odd trees, 25 I think it was so far. So here, once I cut that big tree down and dug up all the roots, there's a this one's not a dwarf but a Washington navel, and another Washington navel there, and I'm going to replace this locust position to allow this circle to be pretty much citrus and pomegranates, pretty much, yeah. And over here I've just put in a miniature apricot to fill up this space. I'm starting to put a few miniatures in because having them all fully grown standard size will probably block all the garden. I'm fair to say that it's probably already going to do that, but since I've got the dwarf trees, I'm thinking why not plant them. So yeah, so I've got a few more positions in the garden, but I think I've definitely run out of space. I am thinking of probably putting another couple down this south side of the garden. I've dug this hole out here, but the soil down here is very compacted, and I just fill this hole up with water to see how long it takes to drain, and if it doesn't drain too quickly, then I'll just backfill it and not put anything here. But I've got this space here, and I'm thinking of maybe putting a couple of standard size oranges in a row. So that's been the last. Oh, actually I did remove an apple tree that wasn't doing too well, and replaced it with this dwarf apricot as well. So I quite like apricots. So this is a story or a moor park, early moor park, and yeah, the apple wasn't doing too well. The ground was pretty solid over here, and of course there's the gum tree as well, but I replaced that whole soil with new soil, and mixed it up with the original soil, and it's a lot fluffier and a lot more broken into to allow the roots to grow better. I'm still thinking of pulling out this plum apricot. It's more of a plum than an apricot. Again, the ground here is a little bit dense, and it does get a lot of water. You can sort of see that it did struggle this year with being waterlogged. So again, when I pull this one out, I'll add some new soil, some gypsum, and just break up this little area of compacted soil, and maybe put something else here. I'm not a big fan of plum apricots, to be honest. So there we have it. So I'm going to have a bit of a walk around. Might start this way actually, go around like this. Yeah, the almond tree's doing really well. The parsley below. Again, I've left this to grow into a double branched apricot. I'm still in two minds whether to keep it in 2 branches or cut 1 branch off and let this left hand side take over. The locusts, the grafted locusts, are doing really well. A lot of growth. I think yeah, this winter we will get some fruit on these, because they did have fruit when I planted them, although I did take them off. And yeah, it's really helped because they've grown quite vigorously over the last 6 months. This apricot tree is now over 6 feet tall. I'll probably prune it before it gets too cold. Yeah, I'll keep going this way. This plum was pruned down, and just wait for next year now. But I can see that it's got a lot of fruit spurs everywhere, or fruiting branches, so it should get some fruit next year. We still have a lot of apples on this crispy crunch, and as you can see, they're really doing well in these plastic protector bags. Over this way, oh yeah, pomegranates. So each of the pomegranates have got a couple on them. Let me just walk over here and have a look at the lemons in the pots. So lots of lemons, lots of tree frogs in here. I did see one just jump a moment ago. Where's it gone? It's around here somewhere. Anyway, it's gone. So a lot of lemons. This one's growing well too. It's sort of growing a lot taller towards the back of the house there. But yeah, and this is the blood lime. It's really liked its position here, and it's doubled in size already. The tomatoes this year did really well in this position. You can see there's a lot of tomatoes. A lot of tomatoes. I'll just let it sprawl out. No stakes whatsoever. And I think there's a Tommy Tom's or something like that. A bit larger than cherry tomato. Very tasty. And these imperial lemons, imperial mandarins, doing really well. This one's growing a lot taller than that one, but they're both doing quite well. So some more tomatoes down there. And the kumquat. Now this is a kumquat that's seedless almost, which is really nice. And this one is a calamansi, which is from seed. And you can see that the leaves are more oval shaped, or really round to oval shaped, compared to the kumquat, even though some people say this is a calamansi, but it's not. Yeah, another lemon here. This is where the bamboo was. It did try to grow back from underneath the concrete, but I've been keeping on top of that, so hopefully I've killed it. A Sweet Magic pomegranate. This is a different variety. A couple of hazelnuts that I've put here. They were down the back dying, and now they've come back to life, which is really good. Another stone fruit. So if we look this way, come down the back here. So this is another apple tree that I've kept because it's got a lot of heirloom on it, variety. I did move this locust to this position. There was an apple here, not doing too much. A lot of codling moth. So I thought, you know what, reduce the number of apple trees that I had. Still got a fair bit though. Another apple tree here. This pomegranate, it's got a really nice big one on it right there. This is a wonderful. See from this side. There you have it. Now, for some reason, the birds have left the apples alone. Even though I've got the ones close to the house in bags, all the ones on the espalieres here are probably ready to harvest, which I haven't taken off yet. But the birds have left them alone somewhat. There's a couple been in, but there's a big Granny Smith just there. Another Granny Smith here. Down to the pink ladies. Yeah, see, there's one that's been eaten, but these other ones are ready to eat and the birds haven't touched them. These Granny Smiths are going red, which is interesting. Yeah, it's a Granny Smith. I did plant some cucumbers amongst the marigolds, and they've given quite a bit. Yeah, it's another Granny Smith, really nice. Birds have left them on. These are all the pink ladies. Over here, for now, it's a grapefruit, I think. See how it goes. Here's another locust doing really well. Over to here, more pomegranates, a vine. The olive trees are doing okay. No new growth really happening. This will move eventually. This is a champion quince, so I need to find a good spot for that. Between the bamboo, it's not very good. Another sprawling tom-tom tomatoes. So the pear tree, I'll have to lop that down, but I want to keep the top parts for sign wood, so I can probably graft that onto something else. Japanese plum, no, pear, sorry. It's starting to shape up, which is really nice. Not so lanky. This one, Corella, I think it is. Again, I need to lop it down so it's not so high. Keep the sign wood. Got a few feijoas here. And that's the backyard. Oh, what's down here? Yeah, so we'll come down this way. Now this peach tree is starting to come back to life, and it's got irrigation, as you can see. But the one over here, no irrigation. Didn't have time to put any on, and it's just going gangbusters really. It's quite lush, green, growing really well. And here, as I said, three grafted oranges that will become one tree when they sort of grow up a bit more. The apricot needs to be lopped down a little bit. It's still growing taller and taller, so probably next week before the cold settles in, I'll lop those ones down from the top, so it's about 6 foot or so tall, not 10 or 15 feet that it is at the moment. And yeah, the lemons here are still giving, and new flowers and new lemons are appearing. The one over there is darkening off, which is really good. It was very, very bright yellow, and after giving it some magnesium and magnesium spray, as well as watering it in, has really changed the leaves, and they're starting to come back to a darker shade, a bit like these oranges. Alrighty, so yeah, more apples here. If I take this off, it's a big Granny Smith right there, really nice and juicy. No codling moth on these ones. The grafts have taken them. I can see the scarring here, which is really good. It's healing really well. I'm hoping that this particular tree will grow a lot more next year. Now I'll just come back over here really quickly. I have a persimmon amongst the agapanthus in there. I'm not too sure if I'll leave it in there. And where this hedge is, I would have liked this persimmon to be a bit further back, but there's a big stump in the ground that I can't really plant it any closer to. But I think as it gets taller and these little dwarf apricots stay around probably 3 to 4 feet, it'll work pretty well. I think with permaculture, the more varieties you've got growing together, the healthier the trees are. So I don't mind now that they're not standalone trees, that they're actually in clusters, in groups, all different varieties. I think that will be a lot more beneficial than having rows of orchard type trees growing. So try to make it as much variety as I can in the space that I've got. Yeah, now going into the fruit fortress. Even though it's getting dark and winterish, I still have things growing here. The peaches and are still in leaf. Pears, peaches. This is an apricot that I grafted, doing really well. You probably can't see it that well, it's pretty dark in here now, it's getting really late. The cherry tree, I've managed to form it into a vase shape. It was droopy most of the year, and that's really good. Another persimmon in here. This apple tree just seems to love it, just keeps growing and growing. And this one is being grafted as well, so it's got 4 or 5 varieties on that one. Yep, one of those plum apricots again. This is a quince, two-way quince, a Smyrna quince, and a champion. So you can see the graft is just there. There's one graft and there's another graft up there. So that's the champion graft, and the rest of the trees are Smyrna. We have a fig in here as well. Now these barrels had some invasive roots from the poplar trees. I've managed to isolate that, and now it's retaining water, and they're actually growing even more, even though it's late autumn. Have a look at the growth that this apricot has put on now. Yep, leaves aren't as green as they could be because the sunlight in here is not the best at the moment, but it's still doing really well. Like the peach tree here, it's really quite dark in the leaves. So yeah, so there you have it. The fruit fortress is doing really well as well, and I have plenty of trees in the nursery. There's heaps over there and a lot more over here that I need to find space for in the garden. I'm sure I won't be able to find a home for all of them, but I'll give it my best go.